And then in terms of the per hour, though, that's where I was going, is these other additional
Yes.
overheads.
Yes,
add to the
and
per
what
hour
the
savings.
hourly is going to be. And again, it's like, I'm not going to quibble with Chris's numbers that much. If he says, I think it's like 16.67 a dollar, and I think CERN might have been like 15 or 14, or, in some cases, even less than what it's going to be.
Right.
It's not hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking the same order of magnitude.
And it matters not at all, but it seemed to me that he had this complex method of how to charge for the bot. And I'm thinking, in the early days, you just say, it's $60,000 a year, take it or leave it. You don't need any fancy per hour rates. And if it can do more or less, it's just make it simple. I think that's how Elon will do it, is make it simple. It's 60,000.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
I mean, I was thinking about it with with ski tickets, or you remember, you're down in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Remember how Disneyland, you know what the e-ticket ride is, right?
Yes, I do.
No one knows what the e-ticket ride means, because you had to be an old timer. Because it used to be, when you went to Disney, there wasn't really a park entrance fee, or maybe there's a park entrance fee, but you bought a bunch of these tickets.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you use that to do your rides.
Right.
And then eventually they went to like one price for everyone. Right. So whether you wanted to do one ride that day, or whether you wanted to do 100 rides that day, it cost you the same thing. Whereas in the old days, you said, well, how many rides do you want to do today? And you would buy 10 stamps. And then, of course, the e-ticket was the ticket that was for the best of all the rides. Right. Yeah, the A tickets were for like the teacups or something like that.
Yeah. So we have this kind of the three main things, you might say, from a financial standpoint. We got the TAM, we've got the cost, we've got the potential sell, creating massive margins. You can throw in, there might be some cost of management of that product when it's in the field, whether it's repair, if it's a lease, and the lease includes repairs and upgrades and coming in from time to time and checking in and saying how things going. But whatever that number is, it's still going to be this much compared to the profits. So the profits are pretty crazy, and everybody's gone through those numbers 100 times, and it turns into trillions of dollars very rapidly. So then what that leaves me with is the conversation about when. And it seems like Chris had the furthest out date I've heard of anybody. And I give him some credit for having been in several different boardrooms or meeting rooms with companies that are in the process of trying to make this happen. So I give him a lot of credit on this subject for that. So he's saying conservatively 2027. Then you get to Brett Adcock. It sounded to me like he was saying 2026, that he could get everything kind of figured out this year, and that next year he'd be figuring out manufacturing and starting to get it ramped. And by 2026, he'd be able to make hundreds of thousands or millions or whatever it is that he ramps for. I look at Tesla, and he and several people have said this. I don't know if Brett Adcock has ever said this, but certainly Chris did. Tesla already has it end to end. They've got the software, they've got the hardware, they got the data, they got the compute, they've got the manufacturing capability better than maybe anybody in the world at this point. They've got the facilities, and they've got a massive engineering team where they can borrow, not even within their own company, they can borrow from SpaceX or from Neuralink. So given all of that, did any of and all of this give you a new sense of a timeline in terms of Brett's statement that you and I have made and others have made? You need 1,000 to collect the data and to be in training. When that 1,000 might be in the game at Tesla, and then when the line might be finished with a final, with a ready to go beginning of production. And will that all take place in 2024, like I believe it will, or are we looking at 25 or 26?
Well, I think it would come pretty soon, because Brett did talk about what I've always said is you can do so much in simulation, but the real world is a lot messier. Real world physics is just different.
Yeah.
And so you need to have enough bots to be able to train on that. And he had the feeling that it was probably, more than 100, maybe around 1,000. That was sort of the impression I got, which is sort of the guesstimates we've had. But again, when, asking about the actuators, is that he says, they can build an actuator in a couple of hours.
If you happen to be a big fan of the Cybertruck, you might also be interested in this super fun Cybertruck refrigerator magnet and bottle opener. It is made out of super thick stainless steel, just like the Cybertruck, and it has this giant magnet on the back, so it's going to hold a lot of stuff on your refrigerator. It's an amazing gift, and it comes in that great gift box that you saw before that uses a magnet opener, just almost like an Apple box, like when you get Apple products. You can buy it on Amazon for $29.95, or you can buy it direct from me by sending $25 to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lowercase letters. Please indicate whether you want the stainless steel look, or maybe you'd like to have this very clever camo version. And then if you're not in the US, please add $20 for freight. If you'd like more than one, please check the information below to get pricing, as well as all that information I just told you will be repeated in the information below. So once again, think about joining the channel, getting the up-to-date Tesla news every single day. I think you'll be glad you did.